Right before we're getting ready to go live, it says Facebook, please connect. And I'm like, really? They couldn't have told us that before we went here?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Are we really live?
Welcome. We are.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, we are live.
Hey, so things are really looking up for our December. This is very special.
We're so
our
excited.
Last one of the year.
This is the last Skin Diva 101 of the year, not forever, just of the year. Mm-hmm. And this one's actually really cool because we're going to be talking about some boosting skincare ingredients that are really trending. They're like the talk right now. They've been, I think, the talk for a while, but specifically in our skincare products, in some really exciting things that are coming here to Ballerina Spa and that have actually already showed up here. So if you're local to us,
yes,
you can take advantage of them. And so we're going to talk about these products or these ingredients that you can find in up and coming products in 2024. And like, these are real things to really pay attention to because they literally can reverse aging. Mm-hmm. Literally.
Well, should we introduce ourselves first?
Oh yeah. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Gina Tassinelli. I am the founder and owner of Hype Media and Stylishly Branded. And this is
I'm Nancy Reagan. I'm the ageless skin coach and I am the founder of Ballerina Spa, a long time esthetician.
Yes.
And I'm crazy about reversing aging with skincare. That's my
who doesn't want that, right?
And that's my really go-to. So here we are, last one.
So yeah. So let's start with, I want to ask you about, should we jump in?
We can, or we can just talk about the nasty weather outside. I don't know. Just kidding.
No, that's boring. Let's jump in. And what I want to ask you first are, because I know that there's like a list, really, there's a list of ingredients, but there are three main ones that are the really, really cool ones to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a lot coming down the pike.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that the biohackers have been looking at for a while now, but we are really, and some of this is not new, but how it's being used in skincare is new. Mm-hmm. So that will be extremely helpful in actually making it absorb into the skin and make it work. So we're really looking at phospholipids, but phospholipids as a mechanism. It's not new, but it's a mechanism of being able to deliver into the skin the really awesome ingredients. I also would love to talk about NAD+.
So
which is
I'd love
huge.
To know, for those of you that are watching, and even if you're watching this on the replay, are you familiar with NAD+? Because this is like all over the place right now.
And also ask questions in the chat. Don't forget.
Absolutely.
Please. Whatever you want to know about what we're talking, because we'll talk about this even more so because it's so age reversing, right? And we really can see that it's a real change to the skin.
Yeah.
Even when we're working and we do one treatment on someone, I'm seeing like remarkable changes from one time to another.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. And our third big one is peptides. And it's not just any peptide, but I kind of want to go through the fact that all the peptides have different targets. So
they all do their thing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the first one.
Phospholipids.
I was practicing saying that before we came on.
Yes. So a lot of what happens to our skin with aging is the fact that the cells that are deep down don't get moisture. So when they don't get the moisture that they're supposed to have, they cannot do what they're supposed to do. And
they die.
They die, but because all cells will die, but also as they're coming to the surface, you're seeing skin cells that are not nourished and they're not happy because they don't have enough hydration. So it could be hyaluronic hydration, it could be water, it could be a couple of different things. But what happens to the skin when you're able to use phospholipids, it delivers the water and the ingredients down into the dermis layer, deep into it, versus having it wash away. So when we go out into cold weather, so up north, we're in Florida, lucky us, but we have our own problems with moisture disappearing on the skin. So when it's super cold and somebody is going from cold to hot to cold to hot, the water is evaporating out of the body and you don't really realize how much it's going out. And if you don't have the right diet and you're not having enough calcium and magnesium and all the different minerals in your body, all that water is gone. And especially if you're not replacing it at all, which our society tends not to drink enough water. So you're not replacing it. So the cells are not getting any nourishment. So the phospholipids have the ability to drive the moisture down into the cell. When the cold water or cold air hits the skin, it pulls all the moisture out. So, and if let's say you're using a cleanser that has emulsifiers in it, it pulls all the moisture out. So the use of phospholipids is going to allow us chemically, when it's manufactured, to be able to drive those water ingredients deep into the cells.
Interesting.
It's more of a mechanical mechanism, but it's a way to be able to make sure that the cells below are able to have moisture, because you can deliver peptides and you can deliver NAD, you could deliver anything into the cell, but if you're not delivering it to a healthy cell, it's not going to do any good.
So what ingredients would you find phospholipids in?
Well, it's more of
products,
it's more of the mechanism of delivery. It's like the delivery system. So it's actually, so if you have a train and the train is taking something from one place to another, phospholipids are kind of like the train going from the top of the skin down to the cell, to the bottom of the dermis layer, so it can actually deliver and penetrate. So it's kind of like the delivery system. So it makes it so that you're able to have the cell become healthy with kind of without really knowing it. So that makes a huge difference. When you have skincare that's built on these phospholipids, you're able to really see that you have a healthier skin, and you don't have as much reactions on the skin on that level. So it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yes.
We just had like a little mini science class. Science lab.
Sorry, I didn't want to get too deep, but it's important to know. It's very interesting because you're really skincare, used to be, you just put the cleanser on and the moisturizer, and everything you were doing was so topical. And now with the advent of all of these new ingredients, it's no longer considered to be topical because we're actually making physical changes in the skin. So that part that's cool. Really, really cool. And I mean, some of our befores and afters of how old do you think this woman is in this picture? And then how old do you think she is now? It's pretty remarkable when we're doing those kinds of groups and saying, what do you think? And like one lady we did, and I was just randomly doing it. I said, how old do you think she is? And they were like, oh, she's 65, she's 66. And I really knew her true age. And then I said, okay, so here's after 2 treatments with the new products and we also did microneedling with peptides. So what do you
Nice.
think? And we have a special peptide delivery system now also.
Mhm.
So I said, so what do you think? And she's probably 50. So I mean, when you take 15 years off of somebody
Right.
in 2 months, and without surgery, it's pretty remarkable.
Who wouldn't like that?
So it's pretty.
Like,
it's kind of
that's crazy.
It's kind of groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Just to say that it's the least I feel, super lucky to be in the position to be able to share this.
Yeah.
Number one, I mean, especially because it's when you have a face and you have somebody who feels like, oh, my husband thinks I'm old, or I'm being passed over for a promotion at work.
Yeah.
And because they think I'm too old, all those things come into play because it's our face.
Right.
Or
I don't want to show up on camera for my business.
Yes.
Right?
You hear that a lot.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, you hear it a lot because people are so self-conscious.
Yeah.
And we're on video 24/7.
Right.
And it's kind of like you're sitting there and you really want to show your best side, but it's kind of, it's super important. And so when you can have that ability to be able to do that only with products, it's pretty fabulous.
That's
so
awesome.
We have a lot of things
without surgery.
Without surgery.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
That's incredible. So the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next one is NAD plus. First, let's start with, what does NAD stand for?
Oh, you're going to ask me that?
Yeah, I'm going to ask.
I'm going to have to go to the National Institute of Health, Cellular Health for this.
Can you tell we did not practice?
No, we are not practicing ever. And so one of the things about NAD that's really, really fun is it is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And I'll say NAD plus.
NAD, that's why everyone says NAD plus.
I do have a girlfriend that can actually say it, and she says it. Andrea, she always says it. She always says it. She knows every long name of every chemical ever. Something about North Carolina and my accent and everything else. I never can get it. NAD plus is been around for a little while, and what they've been looking at it, really, they took 9 pillars of aging, and they really broke it down, and they said there's not one way we really age. There's 9 ways we age. Little did we know.
Right.
I mean, so they broke it down, and it was really, and I'm not that good on memory. So it's, they really said, what's the effect of DNA? So how does our DNA, so that was play a role. Then there's a thing called telomeres that are in the skin. So telomeres are either longer or shorter based on how our skin functions and whether it ages properly.
Is that part of your elasticity?
Elasticity is the telomere.
Okay.
Then you have epigenetic, which you've heard. Epigenetic is very fancy word that has been thrown around recently, especially in the whole how to get more youthful. And they're looking at epigenetic is, did my parents have it? Or was I in the environment where I grew up? So did I grow up in the sun? Or did I grow up, was it directly related? Did my father have it? Did my mother have it? And they're really discovering 20% of your skin, your body is from your parents. The rest of it is all lifestyle, environment, food, everything else that goes into it. The next one is your ability to remove damaged proteins. This is all what NAD does.
Right.
And so this is like a whole science of everything that it does.
Wow.
So it's removing the damage. And not only does it remove damaged proteins, it also helps repair the mitochondria. So the mitochondria are sort of like these amazing messengers for the skin. But when we start aging, they start becoming damaged. So it helps to do a repair on those.
Like wake them up.
Tell them that, hey, I'm
not
I'm
aging.
really not my age. It also helps to remove the ones that are dysfunctional. So they're helping, and that is part of the whole cell when the cell dies and the aging process.
Right.
We can keep going. It helps with stem cells. So stem cell based therapies. So NAD will help with that. It also helps with, they use a fancy name called inflammaging.
Inflammaging?
Yes. And it sounds awful. So when you are inflamed by, and there's so many diseases, there's autoimmune, there's heart problems, everything that causes inflammation causes aging. So when you're inflamed, whether or not you're allergic to something, whatever it is, that will cause aging. So NAD in its big complex has the ability to help with these 9 pillars of aging.
Wow.
Which is super exciting because on one side, it's super exciting. On the other side, it's super expensive.
Yeah.
And when it's put into products, you have to have the delivery be in a liposome delivery system. Don't confuse phospholipids with liposome. But the liposome is actually delivering the NAD into the skin.
Okay.
So you have to hold it. It has to be held into the proper vehicle. So the vehicle can go down into the skin so it can be released.
Okay.
So, but when it's released, it does magical things as far as changing the skin.
Wow.
And you can see in some of the result stuff that we've been working with that in 14 days between a serum and a moisturizer that contain NAD, you're seeing remarkable changes in the skin. And it's all these 9 factors that are helping to heal the skin, repair the DNA, help with the inflammaging, help with the inflammation. But it's super incredible of how it works to do this.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
Any questions? Somebody says, yeah, it sounds awesome. It's for being in the skincare industry for so long. It is one of the most groundbreaking times. The ingredients have been around a lot, but from the ability, there was glycolic acid 20 years ago, and then there was lactic, and then there was malic, and then there was every acid known, to man. But they all were stripping the skin. They were never helping to deliver what we are aging, why we are aging, what we're losing as we're aging. NAD also, people do a lot of with IVs. So, that's happening a lot. And some people use the NAD as a recovery for their bodies and helping to repair their bodies from the inside out. And we're able to actually deliver it through skincare, which is pretty cool. When we're in the treatment rooms, we're using ultrasound to penetrate it even further. So we're pushing it into the skin further with that. So it's kind of it's awesome. That's pretty
fun.
Cool. I can't see the difference.
I'm like, I can't wait for you guys to see what's going to be happening soon.
I know.
We're so
it's
excited.
Really, really cool. I think that kind of does my cheat, my cliff notes. It's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
It's a lot from even talking with people that are molecular cosmetic scientists.
Mhm.
You're like every once in a while it's like the blank stare because it's like, what? I don't know what they just said because it's just it's a lot.
Yeah.
But just know that just like any product that you buy, it's the quality of the product. More expensive doesn't always mean better.
Mhm.
And it's the quantity of what is going into that skincare ingredient. So just be aware that if it's going to start becoming a buzzword, you want to make sure that you're getting what you're paying for,
right?
And that it's actually transformational, because it will become right now it's so expensive as an ingredient. It's not available for the mass market pretty much. So it's going to be in specialty until they're able to start producing it more for mainstream.
Right.
So that's kind of like that's how this market kind of works. So it's tested first in spas and estheticians, and we see that it works, and then some big guy comes along and takes it away. That's how it works usually. So it's kind of crazy.
That's exciting, though.
Yes, very, very. So
and
next
then
one.
we have peptides.
Yes. So peptides have been around for many, many, many years. There's all kinds of peptides. And I think one reason I really wanted to talk about peptides for the 2024 and really glowing is so that that a peptide serum that you buy, and if it says peptide, that there's so many peptides that each one has a specific target. So each thing has, so this, for example, is a peptide serum that we are using in the professional room. So I'll let you try a little bit on your hand and see. It feels really amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel any better than anything else.
No, but it's like very smooth.
Very smooth.
Cool.
The changes that this peptide, and we've been testing it pretty much in the room. We've been testing it for about almost 8 months that we've been testing. This is a client that had 2.
Whoa.
Do
you guys see that?
Yeah. She had 2 of the microneedling with the peptide.
Just 2 treatments.
She had 2 treatments. So what the peptides do is they have very specific targeted actions. Okay. And this, I do have a cheat sheet. Okay. Because I want you to understand each peptide has a complete direction of what it does. So if somebody says, oh, it's got methylpeptide, blah, 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 blah in it, I want you to understand this is what that peptide does. Because it might not mean
anything to you.
It might not be the one you need for your skin. So for example, tripeptide.
Just said, wow.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Tripeptide 29 increases fibroblast activity. Okay, so the fibroblast in the skin is kind of like the one that goes, whoo, let me go make it go faster. So it makes it go a little bit faster. So when the fibroblasts start moving, it's making, so that one is responsible for making the cells go faster. Hexapeptide 12 is promoting elastin production. So if you want to look at acetylhexapeptide 8, that one you see a lot, but it reduces neurotransmitter function for muscle relaxation. Have you guys heard of that one before? Because that one's almost like Botox. So it's going to, if you put it here,
Yeah.
It's in a ton. Like this particular peptide is in a ton of serums and creams that you'll see somebody go, oh, you got to stop. Let me just tap this on your face real quick. And it'll have, sadly, it will have a couple of ingredients that are designed to zap. You'll see this as one of the peptides. There's a drop in there, but there's also a few things that are used. Sometimes it's baking soda, sadly.
Okay.
Sometimes it's because it's a gimmick thing, so they can produce it really
Like
cheaply
fillers.
as fillers. So they do that, and so that's like one of those things. But acetohexapeptide 8 is helping like a Botox to relax the muscles.
Huh.
So it's not helping with fibroblasts. It's not helping with the, making the cells go faster. Hexapeptide 9, this one, repairs scarring and helps with the basal layer of the skin. So it's helping something entirely different. So nanopeptide increases cell renewal. There's several of the palmitoyl pentapeptide, tetrapeptide. So some are anti-inflammatory. Some actually stimulate collagen 1, 2, or 3. So they're actually, each one of these, just so you guys know, each one, though, has a message to send to a different part of the cell.
Right. Like has a job.
Right. Exactly. So when the jobs all work together, then you have a magic peptide potion. Like that's like this thing.
Which you just saw in the before and after. But that's the kind of results that we're seeing when we're using this peptide with our clients in the spa. So is it a mixture of multiple peptides?
Correct.
Okay.
There's 14 peptides in this particular one.
Wow.
What I was looking for was when you're doing microneedling, when you're doing anything that is helping with penetration, and you're doing something like that, I personally like it to have a slip.
Yeah.
So I like to have some hyaluronic in it. So I like it to slip, but I also like it to be soothing. So I want it to have panthenol in it. I want it to maybe have some aloe in it too, but it also has to be no fragrance. It cannot have anything in it that couldn't go into the channels of the skin. Whether or not we believe it, it's all going in the skin.
Right.
So it has to have that ability to go in the skin. So you're putting something safe in the body.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But with everything that is in all of the ingredients, it creates everything together, makes this magical potion. That magical potion.
I need some magic peptide potion.
I know.
Amy.
It'll be this one actually will be we're working hard. We have it professional, but we don't have it the ability yet to make it to market with this.
Yeah.
We're actually working on doing with our Skin Diva, with doing stuff that will be 5 products that will be transformational for the skin. But
I want this.
Honestly, I've been testing this and I haven't done as much microneedling or anything as I wanted to, but just kind of using nothing else except cleanser and the peptide.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said, hey, what are you doing? I don't know if I'm just like imagining things, but no, I'm not 50. I'm not 50. But I feel like I'm 20. But it's really amazing of what it does. And trying to make sure that, number one, can we produce it in a manner, number one, that it's affordable.
Right.
So it's got to be affordable, and it also has to be able to be stable. So that's another thing that we're working on. But it's
so I have a little secret for those of you that are in South Florida. You can come to Ballerina Spa and Delray Beach,
or even if you're not, if you're flying this way,
or if you're just make a stop and actually get a treatment with these types of ingredients that we're talking about. So that's number one. Number two, for those of you that aren't going to be in South Florida anytime soon, keep staying tuned to Ballerina on Facebook and Instagram, and try and get on the email list. Stay tuned, because there are things coming like very soon. Okay. Very soon.
I mean, we're working. We really wanted to test the professional first.
Yeah.
And we put it into 2 facials. And so we have it in our Bella Glow Up, and we have it in our Bella Royale. But the Bella Royale is with microchanneling, and we're using also hyaluronic pens that we channel in addition to all of the good. And something new that's coming too that's really cool is a methyl blue mask.
Oh, right.
So that's kind of exciting too, because they're the process of filtering through everything to actually be able to give you things that change your skin. But you can do it, and because nobody wants to spend 8 hours in the doing 8 million things.
Right.
You want it to be simple, easy. Let me go to bed, and that we've taken, and we hear that.
Yeah.
So we're making sure that happens.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I've seen some of the behind the scenes. Yeah. So even in Seattle, you'll have access to this.
Yes. It's going to be, and we're going to need feedback.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to need definitely your feedback, and the ability for you to be able to say, hey, we like this. Hey, we don't like this.
Yeah.
One thing that is going to happen, and some people have, I'm not big on fragrance. I'm not, and I like things that are non-toxic. And so if I could have had my dream things, and I started out on this whole venture looking for oncology products. So I was looking for products that were safe to use in the facial room that could be used on cancer patients.
Yeah.
So that's how this whole process
started.
And then one thing led to another, but there's no fragrance in the products. So it's not like a smell good kind of like, let me do it.
Can I share something personally?
Sure.
So I've actually been testing some of these.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And I have to say that, because I've been here to the spa and I've had treatments multiple times. When I've been using some of these products at home, I literally feel like I just stepped out of the spa.
The facial.
Yes. Like my face, just the quality and how they feel on my face, I really feel literally like I just gave myself a spa treatment.
And
it's crazy.
The one trick of that
Yeah.
is the fact it does not contain emulsifiers.
Yeah.
So in January,
yes,
we'll go further into what emulsifiers do to strip the skin, and why, when you're using a cleanser, what the emulsifier does. So when your skin doesn't have an emulsifier, it makes a huge difference in the quality and the suppleness of the skin. It's what's kind of what you're
what
feeling.
I'm experiencing. So with that said, I want to let you guys know that hold on. Amy agreed. It's a lot of work and I travel. Yes, she actually travels a lot. She's one of my very good friends.
So number of bottles.
So I have to keep the number of bottles I pack to a minimum. Yes.
We're looking for 5. That's all we want. We just want 5 bottles. And then somebody said, how about an eye cream? And I'm like, no.
You don't need it. When with these, like, you don't need an eye cream. It actually will do all of that. But what I wanted to say too is that we are going to be actually launching an ambassador program, and we're going to be looking for people that are interested in testing these products. And in return, there's some goodies for you. So if you are interested at all to know more about that, just say brand, or I was going to say ambassador.
Put Skin Diva or put Diva.
Diva. Yes.
Diva.
Let's
Diva.
Yes. Just
Diva.
put Diva down below, and then we'll reach out to you with all those details. But so I wanted to throw that out there. And then I also wanted to mention that check if you're still who here, Amy, Diva, who here, another Diva, who is still shopping for gifts for the holidays?
No, I've never started.
Well, I have the kids.
No kids.
So right now on the ballerina.spa.com site, everything is 10% off, guys.
Mm-hmm.
With you, all you have to do is use the code GLOW10. Just FYI, okay? So I wanted to throw that out there before.
Okay.
People start.
So Amanda, is that Hami? Is that Diva?
Me.
Are you signing up for her holiday list? So it was really great having you guys live tonight.
And this was
I love it.
Great information. Do you guys have any questions about any of the information that Nancy shared? Ingredients,
phospholipids,
NAD plus,
and
peptides.
The fact that peptides have different, well, everybody's heard about peptides, but the fact that they really have different functions.
Right. So I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna take a picture of your cheat sheet.
Everybody thinks that the peptide it just relaxes my muscles, and you hear that word peptide, but it really does it more than that, depending on which peptide it is.
Yeah.
So it's very powerful.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, Amanda. Do you have a recommendation on a micro needling tool? That's a great question.
Wow. Okay. So we would love to have you visit.
Yes.
Definitely.
We should come together.
Okay. Micro needling tool. And are you talking about the kind that is the roller kind? Or are you talking about the kind that is an actual pen that you can buy on Amazon? Let me ask you that question. So before I make a recommendation. Yes.
Oh, that was Monica.
Okay.
We can't see her name on here, but yes.
I think
the roller.
Okay.
Yeah, roller.
So when you're purchasing the roller, there are very expensive ones. There are very cheap ones. So you want the pens to be made with titanium if you can get them, or stainless if you can. The titanium is better because all of the pens stay exactly the same, because the problem with the rollers, and it always reminds me of the fact that you're getting ready to do one of those lawnmower things that. It's kind of creepy because people do that, and then they'll come in and I'm like, what did you do? I was rolling my face. And I'm like, oh my God, because you don't have, it's your pressure of your hand with the roller. So the rollers are made to be 0.25 in depth. Okay?
I'm taking notes.
So when you get that roller, the 0.25 is how deep it's supposed to go into your skin. So, and unless you're just a masochist, there's no way you're going to be able to really roll that hard to yourself, especially if you have Irish or English skin and you have capillaries that are really close to the surface. You're going to be going, oh no, that hurts. It does help if you have a product that has slip on it to be doing micro needling.
Rolling.
It's really micro channeling with the 0.25 versus a micro needle roller. The name of the company is called Unveiling. If you really want a roller from them, they are not inexpensive, but the roller is very uniform in the needles. So that's what you're looking for, is that the needles are manufactured and they're super uniform, because you don't want one pen to be like perfect and the next one to have a
Gotcha.
nick in it.
Oh, okay.
So and the cheaper ones have nicks, so it's actually scratching the skin.
Oh.
So, or it's not going into the skin smoothly.
Mhm.
So you're not getting that perfect, like what you're supposed to be getting.
Okay.
So if you're going to do it yourself, that's probably my recommendation, is to find something that has those titanium or
So Environ.
Environ.
Do you have one? And do you carry it?
I
'Cause
don't
you carry
really,
Environ.
because we
Okay.
used to carry them a long time ago, but people got a little overly aggressive
Oh.
with their rollers. So I kind of like decided it wasn't
No
a
more.
good thing.
Yeah.
You know, if they wanted to go and buy them, it just was a very aggressive thing.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I don't really want you to be, you actually have more control with one that is electronic
Oh.
than, so Dr. Penn makes them, you can buy them on, there's an A6 model.
Okay.
You can buy it on Amazon. You don't want to, you want a 16, you want a 16 pen if you want to get the needle
Mhm.
size, because that one won't drag on the skin.
Mhm.
So it makes it, but you actually have more control over that because it's actually the pen working and not your hand.
Gotcha.
So what happens when you're rolling, as you roll, you'll get here and it'll be harder
Mm-hmm.
than if you started here, because
Mhm.
you start here, it's lighter,
Right.
and then it gets harder. So you push in hard.
Okay.
So it's kind of more, you know, I'd like it, if you're going to do it, just go buy the pen.
The pen.
Go buy one.
Okay.
So, but that's just, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Any other questions? I don't see anything else. I think
Happy
that's it.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Remember, stay tuned for all of those that said Diva. We will be in touch for
Yes.
sure. We can't wait. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to drop the word Diva as well if you're interested in being a part of the brand
Up and coming.
ambassador program. All right.
Very exciting.
So, very exciting stuff. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you in January
2024.
I know.
I'm so
Oh my
excited.
gosh. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.